Good afternoon, good morning, people. My name is Marcel Gorbets, and
Galata Graham.
we're seeking a younger person from the age of 19 to 26, and you are seeking.
The same.
So, when we're looking for someone, we want someone to be there for us. It don't have to be financially because, we're an older person. We have our own cars, our own homes. We're just looking for a lover.
Yes.
If you're interested, please reach out to us, make a comment, make a like.
As soon as possible.
Yes. Have a wonderful day. I
Yes.
hope to see you guys soon.
Blessings.
Okay, so I got a bit to talk about. First things first, I'm a little disappointed and I'm a little dismayed to know that it's even possible. Like, I can't even see this as possible. I can't fathom this. That some of these chicks are literally trying to trick the passport bros in other countries into thinking that they're natives so that they can get wined and dined or that they can get the dates that they can't get here in America. Just to even hear that that's a possibility, I'm flabbergasted. I'm basically like, listen, guys, y'all got to be more careful. First of all, you need to learn the language, or you need to learn some of the language of whatever country you go to. I don't know how much into their cultures you are, but you got to learn these things because there's no way that any of these American strikes should be able to take you for a dime when you're in another country, because you should recognize them almost right away. There's no way that they should be able to get anything out of you at all. So the mere fact that this is even a possibility, all I can say is, guys, y'all got to be careful. You got to watch yourselves because this should not be happening at all. We will go into these other countries. We're delving into the culture. We're meeting foreign wives. We're meeting foreign girlfriends, wives, relationships, and whatnot. There is absolutely no way that any of these American women at all should be over there able, like, first of all, this is what ends up happening. When we go overseas and we're with somebody overseas, like we're with that foreign, right? I'm just going to say that foreign. We're with that foreign and we're with them and we're walking up and down the block, we're shopping, we're doing whatever we're doing, we're chilling, like it's like when I was in Thailand. You remember the video I made, in Thailand and this, that, and other. It's like we're chilling, we're having a good time and everything. But meanwhile, you got these groups of strags just walking around and they're just by themselves. There's no man with them. It's just it's usually a bunch of strags and they walking around. And when they see you, you're basically paying attention to your foreign. They're invisible. Invisible. Like Wonder Woman has a jet and it goes invisible like that. They're invisible. We're not looking at them. We're not looking for them, not looking at them. So I'm flabbergasted to know that there's even the slightest chance or possibility that what they're trying to do is mingle in so that they can try to extract resources, drinks, food, money, whatever it is out of you. So all I'm gonna say on this, you guys gotta watch your P's and Q's because this shouldn't be happening at all. The second thing I'm gonna say is that I've been dabbling in AI art lately. I've been taking a good look at the online programs for AI art. I've been using just one in particular, and for the rest of these photos that you've seen in my community chat, I've basically just been sharing photos that I've been in groups that have, proliferated them. Now, the first thing I will say is the Strags absolutely hate the fact that we communicate with memes. And it's one of the things that I realized only when I heard them say the fact that they hated that we communicated in memes. I realized just how effective and efficient it is. You see, there's no point for long, drawn-out conversations. There's no point for arguments. There's no point for pulling stats and figures out of your ass and stuff like that. There's no point in doing all that. The beautiful thing about communicating with memes is, number one, for the most part, it beats the artificial intelligence censorship. So you can say a lot by just posting a picture. What is that old saying? A picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, basically, these pictures are worth 1,000 words. They absolutely convey our message 100% perfectly and efficiently. And well, basically, as I just started out by saying, the Strags hate it when we do this. They hate it. memes make it so much easier for you to stay within the terms of service within most of these social media networks. It allows you to communicate your idea. It allows you to not waste time communicating your idea. It allows you to simply move on. It's kind of like a virus. Like when you really think about a virus, you know, that famous speech in The Matrix where Agent Smith explains what a virus is, basically, you know, for people who never took biology 101. But basically, when you think about it, a virus, all it does is it just simply moves over to a cell. It grabs onto the cell, it drops off its message, and then it just leaves. And then it goes and finds another cell, and it drops off another message and leaves. Now, the word you would normally use is infects the other cell, because that information that's left behind is going to replicate more and more viruses. Well, that's exactly why they call something viral when you put it on social media. It's because when you drop that off, other people are going to see it. Exponentially, other people are going to see it. A lot of those people are going to take it and they're going to, steal memes and whatnot. And then they're going to take those to memes to other sites that they don't think have seen them before. And they're going to share them there. Long story short, memes are very effective communication. It's brilliant how effective it is, for one. Number two, because of the fact that AI, these generators online are free and they're easy to use for the most part, they absolutely are a tool at this point. Some might call them a weapon, but, there's no morality in it. There's no good or evil. So basically, they're just a tool. So the thing about it is every now and then, I post these memes and things that I create on AI generator because, I just find it hilarious that you can do this stuff. Okay, so the real meat and potatoes is this story right here. Because every now and then, I'll look on Google News, Yahoo News, check and see if there's been any new or interesting, articles or whatnot about the Passport Bros. So right here, Fox News has this article, What is a Passport Bro? Growing number of men are ditching American women to find love overseas. Relationship experts say that some men feel excessive feminism and a lack of loyalty are hindering their chances of finding a partner. Now, this says it's by Nicholas Lanham. Now, I'm not going to play this video because Fox, their content, they're very, very, they don't want you using their content specifically because, for one thing, they get caught lying so much until the last thing they want is you being able to pull up old stuff and use it against them. So for the most part, they copyright pretty much everything, and they make it so you can't use any of their content. But I watched this video. Now, this guy, what he was focused on, and I'm going to give you the link so you can watch it yourself. He was focused on men feeling, because of the internet, that they have more options, and therefore they're not willing to settle down with American women. Now, what was interesting to me was this article really was not about the Passport Bros. Now, the article may be, because I haven't read the article, but the video itself, the video portion of the article seemed like it was disconnected from maybe this written part. The guy in the video, which you can watch yourself, he was talking about how men feel that they have too many options. Now, men in the manosphere have basically been saying the exact same thing about women, that women, for one thing, they realize social media is absolute poison for relationships. Now, one of the things that I've mentioned before is I've noticed that a lot of women, specifically females that I've known personally in my life, I've noticed that a lot of them are hesitant to post their boyfriends. They're hesitant to even post their husbands. Now, women typically are proud of only a handful of things. They're proud of their children. They're proud of having a husband. They're proud of a wedding ring because they'll post their wedding ring so you can see that in the photo. Make sure that everybody see how big the rock is and this, that, and other. They post videos and photos of the food that they eat because this is part of the reason why it's become so expensive to take women out on dates. It's because they're forcing you to take them to ridiculously expensive places. Within the last couple of weeks, you've seen arguments and fights online about whether or not Cheesecake Factory is a good restaurant to take a woman to on a date. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I hate Cheesecake Factory. The food has too much salt, too much sodium, too much sugar. I know how to cook. I know how to bake. Their food has way too much salt, too much sodium, too much sugar. Their cheesecake is terrible, in my opinion. It's terrible. Now, there are some exceptions. The pumpkin cheesecake, it has a whipped topping, that's actually pretty good. But for the most part, their cheesecake in general is terrible. I know how to make cheesecake. Anybody who's followed me long enough knows I know how to bake. It's too much sugar. It tastes terrible. As far as their food goes, yeah, they may be like maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead of Applebee's and TGIF, but I'm not really impressed. I know how to cook better than they can, okay? I'll just say it just like that. That said, it's Applebee's, TGIF, Cheesecake Factory, any fast food restaurant. These women are actively telling these men on the first date where they refuse to be taken to. That should be your signal not to date them at all. Now, the interesting thing about Passport Bros is when you go overseas, just about any restaurant in most of these countries, we can easily afford to go to any of those restaurants because we make so much more than the natives do. Like, for instance, if you're in the Philippines or you're in Thailand, the average person who's there per capita, they make less than $10,000 a year. Meanwhile, you got somebody like me who's making like double 6 figures, like in the twos, and I can go over there and I could stay there, live in a condo. I could stay there, have anything I want. Like when I go into their stores and their markets, I'm absolutely priced out of their markets. It feels really good to be able to dominate their economy. I'm just going to say it just like that. Now, in our economy, yeah, I can go into most of these stores and buy just about whatever I want. The only downside is when you go like to the big superstores and shit like Neiman Marcus, or you go to like Gucci or something like that. When you go to these other countries, they don't even have those stores unless they only have like 1 or 2 of them, and they're in very, very, very expensive neighborhoods, right? But here, you're seeing more and more. You're seeing all these posh stores and stuff like that. Long story short, when we go to their country, we can dominate just about everything. We can dominate their economy. We can dominate their men. We can dominate their women. Their men, for example, when we go to their barber shops, when we go to their grooming places where the men are, when we go to their suit shops, like Men's Warehouse we have here. But when you go over there, I had suits made for like $200. I've got these Nepalese men, they're from Nepal, jumping up to make me a suit. $200 a suit. I came back here with like 5 suits. And they're still in excellent condition, even though they're like 3 or 4 years old. Still in excellent condition, still fit, still very nice suits. Materials are fantastic. Regular men from those countries can't just do that. But we can go over there and we can do that. And most of those countries thrive on tourism. So for these strags who think that these people are fighting to keep us out, they're out of their minds. No, they're not. They're fighting to get us to come there. Whatever they've got there, they want us to come there and get it. Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to get Mercedes and they're going to chop you up. You go after their sisters and their wives and their sisters and their girlfriend. It's like, first of all, that's not true at all. Any man from here who's been down to Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico or Colombia or Bogota or Brazil or whatever, when you go to those countries, the men are like, hey, Holmes, yeah, come this way. Oh, are you interested in meeting nice women? Oh, come on, Holmes, I got some nice women. You come this way. And they're not even trying to rob you. There's a reason for that. First of all, in some of these countries, they literally execute people who mess with tourists. Now, I do know that there are some of these South American countries that are a little less oppressive. And, every now and then we have tourists down there who get injured or hurt or something or killed. But in these other countries, I only like to go to the countries that are extraordinarily oppressive of their people. Like these governments that are monarchies, like Thailand is a monarchy. You can't even speak up against the royal family. Otherwise, you're going to jail. And that's how it is. That's it. China, I love China. You go to China, let me tell you something. If anybody dared to put a finger on me, Chinese government, PRC, what's his name, Shin, you know what they do to those people? You get a very short trial and then you get a bullet in the back. That's how they do it over there. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about playing these games where you got tourists going to places and ended up missing and stuff like Natalie Holloway and all that. No. I don't play no games. When I go to these countries, I make sure that they're so oppressive that them people don't dare look at me wrong. Like I would go to North Korea. If I went to North Korea, it'd be just like Dennis Rodman. They'd be like, oh, yes, we have black tourists. They come visit. right? Everybody over there showing you a good time, showing you what they want you to see. They don't even want you to see the poorness. They don't want you to see the poverty. They've got people who are faking using the internet. They're on computers that are fake, and the computers don't even work. And they're doing all of that just to make the place look great. Those people wouldn't dare lay a finger on you. They wouldn't dare lay a finger on you. You know why? Because Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, you know what they do to them people? You don't even want to know what they do to them people. Then you go over there, them people show you the greatest time. It's like Disney. It's like the greatest show on earth. The last thing they want is to do something wrong to a tourist. Because if they do, that's the last you're going to hear of them. Those are the countries I like going to because I know nothing's going to go wrong. That said, okay, let's get to this article because I think I've diverted enough. All right. It says a growing subset of men in the United States are turning away from American women and choosing to search for love abroad. The viral movement coined as passport bros on TikTok refers to men seeking foreign women who they believe come from more conservative backgrounds and therefore place more emphasis on family and loyalty. In many cases, these passport bros claim to seek out non-Western women out of frustration or wanting something new. They often blame feminism and impossible standards by U.S. women as the reason for them seeking out relationships overseas. Dating coach Eddie Hernandez said, relationship experts, coaches, and other experts who spoke with Fox Digital said the term has gotten significantly more traction thanks to COVID-19 pandemic and an abundant work from home culture. You see, work from home has allowed passport bros to actually go to other countries and literally do work remotely, for one. Then on top of that, because of COVID-19, and I should say the government's reaction to COVID-19 by locking down the entire world, basically, and then followed by Jerome Powell when Russia invaded Ukraine, driving up the interest rates. They've created a situation where it's almost impossible for you to live on your own. So most of these women have found themselves asked out. Yeah, there are a few boss babes who got their feet pictures on OnlyFans and they're trying to make dividends like that. But for the most part, most of them can't pull that off. You've seen there's been a couple of teachers who've gotten fired, a couple of female cops who've gotten fired. All of them trying to get OnlyFans accounts. You've seen there's been a couple of nurses. Now, they're hoping that, and it's really sad how the news does it. What they do is they make you think that the exception is the rule. Like they'll find the one gorgeous chick who's able to make $1 million a year or $1 million a month or whatever it is, and they'll make it appear that that's what everybody else can do. But we all know that that's not true. We all know that the vast majority of them who try to do that don't succeed. We know that. But the reality is they want you to believe that everybody can just do it. They want you to think that, all you got to do is just come on OnlyFools, and next thing you know, you're gonna have feet photos and you're gonna get $50,000 a month. It doesn't work that way, but they want you to think it does because it gives them something to talk about. So that said, during that COVID-19 pandemic, basically what ended up happening was the economy has shifted so much against singles that anybody who was single, who was originally paying the singles tax, well, now they're paying it thrice. They're paying higher cost of living. They're paying inflation on just about everything they buy. They're paying higher rent or their mortgage is fixed, but they're paying higher rent. If they try to get a mortgage, chances are they're going to be denied. Now, as I had mentioned before, now this was way back during the pandemic, it was single women who were driving the housing market. But they were getting all these crazy-ass loans, like HFA, and they were getting all these crazy loans that were like, what was it called? It was like a loan that was based on your income or something. Like, they were getting all these crazy ninja loans, basically. And now it's almost impossible for them to do that because now the interest rates have exceeded 8%. So you remember you keep hearing the boss babes with boss babes. Yeah, I'm driving around in a Jaguar. Yeah, I'm driving around. I got me a BMW X6. You ain't seeing all that no more. Like you see, very rarely do you see that. Like I used to see it all the time. Guess what? The repo man's been working since COVID-19. Repo man's collecting them trucks because them bills is past due. Uh-oh, your foot photos ain't selling so well, are they? Yeah, well, anyway, let me hook this BMW X6 up to my truck and I'm going to drive it out of here. Oh, what happened? Them scooch photos that they're not selling? Oh, yeah, well, let me hook this Mercedes GLS back up to my truck because I'm taking this to the city impound lot. Oh, whoa, what happened? All them Pearson photos that you were showing off of the pierced roast beef sandwiches. Oh, that's not selling so well no more. Okay, yeah, well let me hook this Lamborghini and this McLaren back up to my truck because I got to take this to the impound lot. Repo man's been working overnight. The repo man's been working double, triple overtime. All that stuff that they bought during COVID, they losing it now. They losing it now. That's the truth. Okay, anyway, let me get back to this. So it says study finds more than 60% of young men are single. Who are all the young women dating? So this was an older story, and it turned out that a lot of these women were turning to other women. Other women. They're turning to other women, and they're dating other women. Ooh, that's a sticky situation. And then it says, what is this? Remote workers, particularly men, are headed out of the United States to find romantic partners overseas. Photo by Smith Collection. Okay, nice. It says, as of 2023, 12.7% of full-time employees work from home, while 28.2% of employees have adapted to a hybrid work model. These numbers are significantly higher for the tech field, with 85% of tech workers either fully remote or in hybrid. 48% are fully remote. According to Upwork, an estimated 32.6 million Americans work remotely, which comprises approximately 22% of the workforce. After people were forced to work remotely, many companies realized that people's work was just as good or even better when they were out of the office. Some people also may be experiencing wanderlust due to being cooped up in their homes for so long, which may make the thought of a romance abroad extremely enticing. Susanna says. She's a relationship roach, a dating roach, I should say. Anyway, however, experts suggest that many other factors have contributed to remote workers, particularly men turning outside their country in search of romantic relationships. Dr. James Brom, an education expert and researcher analyzing conceptual foundations of biology, said that many other reasons behind the trend are varied. Still, many of these individuals believe that Western women have adopted attitudes and behaviors that don't align with their values and preferences. Many passport bros express a sense of disconnection from the dating culture in their home country. The word that I have been using, and you probably haven't heard anybody else using it but me, was anomie. Anomie. Basically, it's what happens when someone feels completely disconnected from their society or culture because it's basically going down the toilet. There are, longer, more stretched out definitions, but that's the one I've been using. The other term I've been using is grief, as in Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's stages of grief. I personally believe that most young men hit those stages of grief basically almost as soon as they try to start dating one of these modern women. So at first there's the I think it's what phase comes first? It's shock, I believe, because you're seeing something that you can't believe. Then it's disbelief, and then after that's the anger phase. Then there's bargaining, where you're trying to reason with them and you're trying to get them to act right and this, that, and other. And then eventually it ends with acceptance. Normally there's like 6 stages, but I think they had expanded it to 7. But typically it begins with shock, it exceeds to anger, it goes to bargaining, and then it ends with acceptance, no matter how you slice it. There's a denial phase. I think that's number 2 or 3, but it really depends how large they've stretched it out. Bottom line is, a lot of these dudes don't even make it out of the anger phase. Those are the ones you read about in the news. Now, the ones who are in the denial phase, some of them are on the internet capping and simping and everything, and they're trying to make you think that this stuff that we're all saying is true is not true, but they're in denial. Eventually, everybody realizes, yeah, it's true, it sucks, and eventually they end up in the acceptance phase. Now, my recommendation is, Once you get past shock, you should just get your passport. You see, the sad thing is, what they try to tell you is they try to say you shouldn't give up. That's absolutely stupid. No. At a certain point, what you're doing is you're wasting resources sticking around. So what you should do is cut your losses, and you should give up earlier, get your passport, go overseas, find you some foreign. The reason for that is very, very obvious. As you've already seen, there's been newsreel after article after newsreel, and they've been basically saying that if you stay here, you will be exploited for your resources by the strags here. But when you go overseas, you have slightly better leverage, you have more control, especially if you marry overseas. The last thing you want to do, you do not want to marry in America. Do not marry in America. It's an absolute mistake. You're gambling. It's playing Russian roulette with 5 out of 6 chambers loaded. Don't do it. Okay, anyway, back to the story. It says many passport bros express a sense of disconnection from the dating culture in their home country, which they perceive as being influenced by elements they find unappealing, such as excessive feminism, materialism, and a perceived lack of commitment, cheating, and loyalty in relationships. Experts found that some men have shifted their romantic aspirations towards various international regions. Number 1, Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, Latin America. When you really think about it, there's no other place to really go. Now, Eastern Europe, that's going to typically attract your American white male who has to have a white female. There are several countries over there: Russia, Moscow, Moldova, Belarus. The majority of those countries have the same thing in common. They have young men dying in wars, they have a gender imbalance, and they have a lot of women outnumbering the men. Moscow, Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, these places have very high female to male ratios. So your typical white American man who feels comfortable going to any of those countries in the first place, they'll go over there looking for a wife. Eastern Europe specifically. Croatia is another one. Croatia, Serbia, Serb-Croatia, that's another one. There's others. There's Poland. Basically, it's just about all those countries. Now, the interesting thing about it is those countries have extremely high divorce rates. If you look up Russia and Ukraine, they have pretty much the highest divorce rates, I think, in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Southeast Asia and Latin America are better bets. The only thing about it is if you happen to be a white man, you probably don't want to get one of these brown-skinned, smaller women from another country. And I have nothing against you if that's what you don't want, because I've got nothing against you. That you can get whatever it's your option. You can go anywhere you want, and you can get whatever you want from anywhere. It's like a buffet. It's like when we go to the buffet, the Chinese buffet, there's certain parts of the buffet I stay away from. Now, you can go anywhere you want, but my recommendation is against Eastern Europe because they have the highest divorce rates on earth. Now, Latin America, Southeast Asia, they're a lot better, especially Southeast Asia. Now, what are we talking about? Philippines, Thailand, Myanmar, Malaysia, typically, Indonesia. There's other countries down there, I can name them, but typically Southeast Asia. Some of the lowest divorce rates are actually in Asia, specifically India. The divorce rate's like 1%, And in some of the Islamic states, the divorce rates are a little bit higher than India, but they're pretty low for reasons which I'm not going to go into in this video. Okay, as far as Latin America, Latin America's gold mine. You got to remember, there are 330 million Americans. Asia alone has more than 3 billion people when you count Asia plus Southeast Asia. In fact, if you just take India and China, that right there is close to 3 billion people. That alone. But when you look at the rest, you're probably going to come up with closer to 4 billion when you look at the rest. So out of that 4 billion, you have to assume at least 2 billion are women. And even if you cut that number down for marriage-eligible age women, there's still plenty of options. Go to Latin America, you go to South America, you're talking about close to 1 billion, if not more at this point, people. And, those are the best options. Now, a lot of the colorists, a lot of the hoteps, these losers online who are pro-black and this, that, and other, they wonder, oh, why did anybody ever talk about Africa? Well, there's a very simple reason for that. Africa has very unstable borders. They have very unstable climates in certain parts. And there are some parts that are great. Like, if you go to Seychelles, there's almost no crime whatsoever. You go to Cape Verde, you go to Zanzibar, Tanzania, there's almost no crime whatsoever. The thing about it is nobody wants to go to interior Africa looking for wives. Nobody wants to go to the Congo. Nobody wants to go to Zimbabwe. Nobody wants to go to Nigeria, okay? There are a couple of hoteps who are here in America who may try to go to those places. For the most part, it's like, no, the average American ain't going there. They don't know. It's just not their flavor. So anyway, furthermore, these men also believe that Eastern Europe is regarded as a place where women embrace traditional gender roles. At the same time, Latin America is seen as a place of warmth, passion, and family values are prevalent, according to Abraham. Paula Pardell of Blue Matchmaking added that these men often value women who are happy to be homemakers and mothers and take care of their needs, while the man is the sole supporter. How about that? Relationship challenge. Material obsession is bad for marriages, obviously. This sort of arrangement can be beneficial to both parties as long as both know what they're getting into. Open and honest communication is very important about needs and wants in a relationship, she added. But more standard motivations for dating overseas shared by both men and women have led more young male remote workers to consider romantic relationships outside of their area code. Well, first of all, there's more men in STEM in general. And when I say STEM, I'm talking about science, technology, engineering, math, and medicine. There's more men in it in general. These men are more likely to be free to travel. Now, the reason why this doesn't work for women is very simple. It's because women have their highest sexual market value when they're younger. Men have their highest sexual market value when they're between the ages of 30 and 50. So it takes men a while to start making that money. It takes men a while to get themselves into a career. But once they do get in and they're able to travel, these men are top earners. And even if they're not top earners, they're still, even if they're only earning $70,000, $80,000, they're earning a hell of a lot more than that person in that country who makes only $10,000. So they're easily able to dominate the economies when they go abroad to do remote work. It is what it is. That's the game. It says, since the pandemic broke out, an increase of 50% in connections and conversations has been witnessed across geographical borders, according to OkCupid. Daters were also engaged in 10% more interracial relationships, and there was a 15% increase in those who said they would date different religions and cultures. Tinder in 2020 recorded a 7-time increase in members' use of the passport feature, with 16% of all active members engaged with people overseas. Certified relationship expert, life coach, lifestyle blogger, and co-founder of Mood Fresher, Aditya Mishra. Why does that name sound familiar? Told Fox News Digital that the allure of adventure is a significant factor driving this trend among American men. It says New York woman walks down the street with a looking for a husband sign, sparking plenty of conversation. Once again, I'm not going to play any of these videos because I don't want to get any copyright infringement. So you can come back to this page. You can watch the videos yourself. For those with remote work arrangements, the freedom to work from anywhere in the world presents an opportunity to explore new cultures, immerse themselves in different environments, and meet fascinating people. Okay, let me keep moving. I don't know if there's anything else I feel I need to read. Let me just keep reading. It says, opposites may not attract after all. Recent study reveals the fascinating similarities between most couples. Additionally, relative deprivation also plays a role wherein men may compare their relationship options back home unfavorably to what they perceive to be available in other countries. But criticism of the movement has been plentiful. Okay, so I guess we're talking about the TikTok drags who can't stop making videos. We don't care what you do. We don't care if you go overseas. We don't care. When you go over there, they're going to chop you up with machetes. Yeah, that's pretty much how it sounds. Weiss said some of the motivation for Passport Bros stem from sexist ideas. Listen, most of the motivations stem from sexist ideas. The entire belief of a traditional marriage stems from some level of sexism or patriarchy or both. You know, I think it's time that we just start calling it what it is. Just start calling it what it is. I'm willing to do that. If you're going to keep on telling me the same old bullshit, oh yeah, well, you're just going there for sex tourism. You know what? Fine. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going there for. Okay? Now what? You see, the thing about it is, there's no need to be defensive at this point. We've already won. I said this months ago. We've already won. Not only that, but the Passport Bros, we win every single damn spin of the earth back to the summer. We win every single season. Do you realize how many bros there are right now working in these foreign countries, getting married right now in these foreign countries, dating right now in these foreign countries? Do you realize it's winter is here? December 21st, winter solstice marks the first day of winter. Right now, we are still in fall, but we are quickly moving towards winter. We've already won. We won last year during the summer. We won. We got videos, we got photos, we got wedding rings, we got weddings in foreign countries. We got better destination weddings than most of these strags who their only idea of a destination wedding is to go to the Caribbean and get married in Aruba, Bahamas, Barbados, Jamaica. It's always the same handful of places. And something occurred to me today. One thing I realized is I've noticed a lot of these drags, they like to go on cruises a lot. And it struck me that, yeah, there's a reason for that. It's because when you go on a cruise, you're stuck on that cruise with them. If you brought somebody with you, yeah, you got somebody with you. If you don't, your only options are what's on that cruise ship. And they are therefore able to compete because now they're an option. When you go to these foreign countries, when you go to Thailand, when you go to the Philippines, when you go to, I don't know, Indonesia, we go to Bali, them strags are in these little groups. There's like 5, 6, 7 of them. They're there, bored out of their skulls, in their bikinis, in the mud with the elephants. And that's that. Now, most guys are like, I don't want to be in no goddamn mud next to no damn elephant. When you look at those tourist photos, usually it's a group of strags, and they're standing next to the elephants, and the elephants are like, God damn it, I wish somebody get me out of this photo. I don't even want to be here. The elephants are saying that. The guys, you don't even see the guys mostly. Why? Because the guys, they in the hotel with their Thai chick, their Thai girlfriend, their Thai wife. They ain't got time for that nonsense. But see, when you go on these stupid ass cruises, oh yeah, well, now she, she couldn't compete in Indonesia. She couldn't compete in Thailand. She couldn't compete in the Philippines. She damn sure couldn't compete in South Korea or China or Japan. But now she's able to compete because she's in Jamaica or Aruba or Barbados or Bermuda or something like that. It's always the same destinations. It's always the same exact destination. I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it. And it struck me because, like, when I'm in these foreign countries, I'm walking with a chick next to me. I'm looking at these strags, and they're walking. I don't give them the time of day. Like, I don't even look in their direction, Like, sometimes, depending upon how they look, I might go up and ask them while my chick is right there. I'll be like, hey, what part of America are you from? And they'll, oh, yeah, I'm from California, or I'm from New York. Oh, okay, that's great. Have a great day. And we just keep on moving. And that's it. And they're invisible. And that's it. There's no line of foreign men trying to come to America to find wives. Have you realized that? There is no line of foreign men. Here's a question. For all of the high-value female doctors and all the high-value boss babes that are high-value because they make a lot of money, here's a simple question. Where are all of the higher-value foreign-earning men coming to America to find wives? Where are they? In fact, try this on for size. Where are all the high-value foreign men coming to America looking for lower-end, low-value women? So the Passport Bros get accused of, even if you are a high-value man, going to foreign countries looking for lower-value women. But there are no foreign men coming to America to do the exact same thing for either the high value or the low value women. Where are they? Where's that line? There is no line. There is no line. Do you understand? There is no line. And that's what keeps them up at night. That's what they hate, because they know, once again, that passport bros have options that they don't have. Let's keep it going because I'm almost done. My God, this is a long article. Depression and anxiety may impact young adults twice as much as teens, Harvard survey finds. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else I need to read here? Dating someone who has a different culture from yours comes with a whole lot of challenges. No, it doesn't. All she needs to... See, here's the thing. I would argue that most passport bros, when they get a foreign wife, for the most part, they've already accepted whatever her culture is. They don't care. See, that's the thing. Let's just call it what it is. Passport bros don't care what her culture is. They don't care. The only thing that they care about is the very basics of being a woman. All you got to do is cook, clean, and slaw. Now, if you don't know what slaw is, I'm going to say you can take a guess what slaw is. I could give you other acronyms, but bottom line is you just got to cook, clean, and slaw. And if you just do those three things, you don't care what your culture... Like right now, there are gypsies out there who are some good-looking gypsies. I don't know anything about no damn gypsy. All I know is if she's willing to come in here, cook, clean, and slaw, it's like, hey, you might as well call me a gypsy king. Okay? It's like, it is what it is. I'm sorry. That is what it is. Like, for example, I had a picture a while ago, this black gentleman with a Russian woman, right? And he don't know nothing about no damn Russia. He don't care about no damn Russia. He's not worried about Vladimir Putin. The only thing he's worried about is, can she cook, clean, and slaw? Can she have my kids, keep them clean, and cook and feed them? That's it. That's it. It's biology 101. There's no real complexity to it. Men are really, 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 really simple. And if they admit it, they don't want to admit it. They want to make it like, oh yeah, well, we're deep thinkers and we want to go on long walks and talk about books and shit. No, you fucking don't. Stop lying. So anyway, for men who fail to understand and adapt, these passport bros, Whiteside predicted, might be quickly dissatisfied once again and find themselves in another country back at square one. Now, granted, there are some cultural differences. Like, for instance, these women take family very seriously. If they come and live with you, yeah, they're going to want to kick back some money that they've earned here to their family because they're helping keep their mom and father, going. They're helping keep their little brother or their little sister or whatever it is going. Yeah, that's just something that you're going to hear horror stories about, or you're going to hear people with rumors and conjecture. Some of them are lies. But the bottom line is, if you can accept that, you've already accepted everything. Like, if you hear the rumors and you're like, oh, yeah, well, she's going to move in with you and she's going to move her entire family in with you. Yeah, well, I've got an uncle who married a Dominican chick who was 14 years younger than him. And her family still lives in Dominican Republic. None of them have moved up here. Her parents weren't poor. Her father owned a plantation. So the point is, yeah, once you get past like the rumor, the conjecture, and the lies, it's like, yeah, everything else is just smooth sailing. So anyway, Brahm noted that critics have argued this trend may perpetuate unequal power dynamics. Okay, see, here's where the bullshit starts. I'm going to say it like this. I don't believe in equality of men and women. I absolutely don't. Now, in fact, I'll say it like this. I don't even believe people are equal. I don't believe it. And that's my opinion, and that's my free speech to say it. Now, what we're supposed to have is equal protection under the law. What we're supposed to have is equal opportunity, which is not even true because rich people have more opportunity than poor people. So this is part of the reason I don't believe in equality. That's part of it. I also know that men have the ability to outwork women. I've never seen a woman building a bridge. I've never seen a woman building a space station. I've never seen a gang of women driving around looking for sewers to repair or plumbing jobs to do or houses to build. Have you ever seen a bunch of trucks filled with women driving around looking to get into building projects and building up hospitals and stuff? Have you ever seen that? No. I know I haven't seen it. Men have the ability to outwork women. There is no equality there. Men will always earn more than women because men have the ability to outwork women. Period. Nature left the burden of childbirth on the woman. If you're mad at somebody, get on your knees, tell God how mad you are. If you don't believe in God, go out into the forest and scream at Mother Nature until you hear her answer you. And that's it. That's what I see. That's what I see. That's what I observe. That's what I believe. So that's what it is. So anyway, this criticism underscores the importance of approaching international dating with respect. Since, oh my God, you put me to sleep. Okay, I think that's about it. Okay, so that was the last word. The last conclusion is Brahm noted that critics have argued this trend may perpetuate unequal power dynamics and objectify women from other countries, potentially reducing them to stereotypes that do not accurately represent their diverse backgrounds in life. You put me to sleep. Experiences. This criticism underscores the importance of approaching international dating with respect, sensitivity, and open-mindedness. Yeah. That's all I can really reply to that. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. I accept everything you said in the sentence. Fine, I accept it. So that's it. This is a long article. My God, this is a long article. It took a little while to get through it. I'm going to give you the link to it so you can come back. You can read it yourself. But the bottom line is, once again, this passport bro movement has basically set fire on the internet. We're everywhere. The TikTok, the YouTube, we're everywhere. Everybody's talking, and the reason why is because they know what it means. The passport bros are the final solution to the gender war. There is no more. We won. There's no more. We are the final solution. You can't beat us. You can't force us to engage with you. Just like the movie War Games taught you, the only way to win is not to play. We're not playing. We're getting these passports and we're getting on these flights. We're not catching feelings. We're catching flights.
All they want to do is just jump in a plane and go to these different countries without even having any understanding of their culture. All they see is cootie cats. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. Cootie cats. Some that might want to marry them, but most of the time all they want to do is dip and dive and, get their dick, wet. But anyways, that's all. Just because I've been hearing about these passport bros like, what? This ain't new. You're hyping up stuff that it's been going on for many years.
I wanted to speak to men in general. You have all the right to practice your freedom of choice. And if you think that finding a wife and a partner in the Philippines is the best choice that you could do because they could give you a safe space for you to feel that you are loved, valued, taken care of, and respected, then so be it. Just stay unbothered, and you don't have to worry about what other people is saying, because at the end of the day, you are responsible to your own happiness. And if your happiness is finding a wife or a partner in an Asian country, or particularly in the Philippines, then so be it. So just stay unbothered, because at the end of the day, it's your choice and it's your happiness.
To be continued.